This is Talking Crazy 88. Back again with another podcast, boy. How's everybody doing this on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon? Tuesday evening. Hope everybody's doing okay. Got my cigar, the La Gloria Cubana Maduro. This is a very good cigar. This is going to be one of my third favorites with the punch and the Rocky Patel. I narrowed it down. I narrowed it down to 3 brands of my cigar. How's everybody doing on this week? How's everybody doing? I know it's a Tuesday, it's a work week. And I decided to just go ahead and check in for a few minutes and talk about the potential end of the Prince of Pan-African scam, Dr. Umar. And his school is about to be foreclosed. And foreclosed on, and going to be out of business. Now he's begging for money. Begging for more money in the community. Get that school open, which should have been open 3 years ago. Well, years ago. But there's going to be a lesson in that when I talk about it on Saturday. When I talk about reputation. It's going to be part of that reputation is doing what you say you're going to do. Honor your promises to the people and honor your commitment. The guy was not 100% committed to that school. I guarantee you. I don't know if it's a ploy. I don't know if he has some psychological issues, or drug issues, or substance abuse. Something's going on with this guy. And very good orator. But like I mentioned before on my live stream, this guy is he's only a step away from being a cult leader. If he was so organized, if he was just organized enough, he would be a cult leader right now as we speak. But that's typical of everybody, living what they call it, a freestyle lifestyle. Just relying on everybody to just relying on everybody to give you money and do nothing other work and doing other things other than the project that you set out. And that's been a lot of black men's failure. That's been my failure for the last 30 years. I've been doing other things instead of focusing on mastering mastering my skill set. Dr. Umar is busy collecting donations from everybody, doing talks all over the world, doing lectures. I mean, he could have been a college professor for all he cared. Doing all of this, he could have been a college professor at an HBCU. Teaching young men, teaching other black men to be educators. But, he decided to go ahead and do some fuckery, get involved with women, especially low functioning, low quality women, baby mamas, the strags, because that's what he seems to like. And these are the black women that he preaches that black men should get with. Now he preaches against going out for black men to go out with snow bunnies and all that nonsense. Look, I'll do whatever you want to do. All right? He has no reason to talk about a black man going with snow bunnies, but he's not. He's a failure. He's a failure in getting his one thing, his one project, his baby project, his life work is to set up a school for black boys. Now, how are you going to set up a school for black boys when you're not really a man yourself, Dr. This is probably God telling you, you got to get a job. You got to get a job doing something meaningful. You got to get a job doing something that's productive. What he's doing is unproductive. And I'm not trying to be like Dr. Lennon Arnold, because I have no standing to criticize his behavior, nor his lifestyle. Because he can do whatever the fuck he wants. I can see through that this guy is gaming all of y'all. And y'all giving him money, but that's fine. You do whatever you want. You work hard for your money and you want to give it away to some guy that's standing around looking crazy with his dick in his hand and not doing nothing, not doing what he says he's going to do. Now, I'm going to talk about that on Saturday, folks, on the Balcony Chronicles. Balcony Chronicles, that black men, you got to get into a habit of doing what you say you're going to do. Because if you don't, that will hurt your reputation. It will hurt your reputation in your personal life. It will hurt your reputation in your career. It will hurt your reputation in any relationship that you establish. Because they can't rely on you. You become unreliable. And how could you rely on this guy? Water building, had repairs, but did not go ahead and go forward in building a team to get that school up and running. That school should have been running right now, but I can just tell that he's a failure in anything that he touches. I don't think he's a great leader. And sadly to say, I was cheering for him. I was pulling for him, and I was hoping and praying that school would open. But now, it's never going to open, people. Everything that you sent all that money in vain. His efforts were in vain. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to say he's a con artist. He meant well. He had good intentions, but I'm going to drill this into you young folks here. Good intentions is a pathway to hell. That's when bad things happen, based off of good intentions. If we're really committed to it, to opening a school for black boys, for young black men, it would have happened. There's this school called the Urban Academy, which is a high school out in Illinois. And I think it's a charter school. I don't know if it's a charter school or not. Because I donated to the school a couple of times, and I'm still going to donate to the school because the school actually graduated black boys, young black boys, and 100% of the graduates have all gone to university. Most of them on scholarship. So it's known for academic excellence. There was a brother up in Connecticut that I think I did a podcast about him. And there was a series, I think a CNN series about him, about Save Our Sons or something like that, right? He built the school for black children, to educate black children. I think his name is Dr. Perry. Those are the men, and those are the schools that we should be recognizing and supporting. But everybody's supporting this fool, this crazy ass fool. And then he goes on to that pro-black back to Africa bullshit. You're not understanding that, hey, you know, maybe these Africans do not have our best interests. They don't. Like I said, individually, I can roll with one or two Africans individually, but collectively, they have no respect for black Americans. Okay? I want you to understand that. Now, I am dark skinned. I could be regarded as one of them, but I'm Gullah Geechee. All right? You know, I'm Gullah Geechee. I ain't African. I'll cut your fucking throat. You fuck with me. Like I said, those boys, they do not regard black Americans in the highest respect. Somebody pointed it out to me that Africa, all the continents of Africa is more related to Europe. They have more in common to Europe than they do with us. They're closer to Europe. United States, we're just here. The closest black folks to us is the Caribbean, and then you go down to South America, you see a ton of black folks. You go down to Brazil, you see a whole ton of black folks speaking Portuguese. But we have nothing in common with them. They don't regard us. They don't really respect us. As black Americans, we're not respected. Despite our accomplishments, despite what we've been through, despite some of the things that we went through in history. Nah, man. The real Africans, those Africans over there, they couldn't survive what we went through. So I'm starting to believe that maybe we are not really Africans. Maybe we are the true natives here in the United States. You know, that they're slowly but surely trying to get rid of us like they did the Aborigines down in Australia and New Zealand. Every time I talk to an Australian, they have no idea what I'm talking about. Because they wipe them motherfuckers out. They wipe them motherfuckers out. But like I said, I'm gonna be long because I got shit to do on this evening. Even in the evening, I got work to do. But black man, you gotta do what you say you're gonna do in this life. Because your reputation is on the line every day. And you have to protect your reputation. Now, Dr. Umar, he has a reputation of a failure. He failed getting that school, acquiring that school. He failed getting that school repaired. He failed getting that school up and running. He failed in his relationships with his daughter. He failed in his relationships with black women. Even though he highly regards black women on a pedestal, but he's a failure when it comes to black women. And I can understand why. Most of us as black men, we're failures. We're considered failures to black women. I Earlier today, I was watching a clip with Coach Greg Adams, right? And he was talking about how the disrespect for black men from black women started earlier, started at a third, younger as when we was 9 years old, or earlier than that, 6 years old. You know, you got the little black girls making fun of us, that we're short, bald, ashy, too dark. I like that light skin. When I was growing up, all the black girls were chasing after these light skinned brothers. I was too dark. I was too retarded. Yeah, this is what they were calling me when I was growing up. Two ugly ass black girls, one ugly ass tall light skinned girl, and an ugly ass Mike Tyson looking bitch. They're calling me retardation. Now, it didn't bother me growing up, because if you can tell from my podcast, y'all would think that I'm retarded or something. The way I present some insights on some of the topics here that goes on in the internet. But some of y'all think I'm regarded highly. I don't know. That's a matter of opinion. But like I said, it didn't bother me as a kid because I knew those bitches was going to be ain't shit. I was going to probably be more successful than them. But I don't know. I don't know what happened to them, nor do I care. But the way he went in on black women today, on one of his video clips, there was something. He has the same frustration that most black men have dealing with black women. It's a special kind of frustration, and I understand why. Because black women, especially nowadays, they believe that they are better than black men. If you don't have that education, if you don't have that job, if you don't have the money, or if she has more money than you, more education, more housing, more property, more businesses than you ain't shit to them. You have no use to a black woman, black man, unless you're a pookie, unless you're a prison nigga. Other than that, you're no use to a black woman. Now, no, I felt it. I felt what he was talking about today, man. I was made to feel bad. Let me tell you something. In my podcast, and I know I took it down. I'm not reposting that 6-part series about the bitch messed me up. All right. This was a strag that made me feel bad. For attempting to do right by her, to have a family. Her and her fat ass Jabba the Hutt looking mama made me feel bad. And not for nothing, she constantly brought up her baby daddy. So I kind of figured that it didn't click then, but it clicks now. It clicked now. It's starting to click now because I'm older and wiser. The bitch never really liked me. I wasn't whooping her ass. I wasn't cheating on her. I was overly generous with her, but she was not happy with me. She was not happy with it. And that would really sealed the deal. That over the years, it sealed the deal for me that I am no longer interested in black women. As far as relationships, as far as marriage, potential marriage, or even having children with them. Because I'm afraid of my child. I'm afraid of my child being raised by a black woman, a black American woman. I'm definitely afraid of that. About how she's going to raise him, how she's going to talk crazy to him, how she's going to bring other niggas around. And you can say, oh, you didn't chose well, man. How? Choose from what? Tell me where the good women are, and I'll go. Tell me where the women with good reputations are, and I'll go over there. I'll take my chances overseas. I'll take my chances with the Caucasian woman. I'll take my chance with the with the snow bunnies. I'll take my chances with the salsa bunnies. I'll take my chance with the curry bunnies. The egg foo young bunnies. I'll take my chances with them before I take a chance with the black woman again. As far as anything serious. So I don't blame these brothers going overseas. And yeah, and if I do go overseas and if I talk about black American women, what the fuck you gonna do about it? Now I know I have relatives, like my mother, my sister, my cousins, my aunts, grandmothers, God rest their soul. They were all black men. They were all black women I respected. Okay? Well, most of them that I respected. But not everybody is lucky like I am. Not every black man is fortunate that I am. I didn't have all those issues like most of your brothers had. My issues were mild compared to some of the brothers that went through hell dealing with black women in their lives, in relationships, as far as marriage, relationships. I'm talking about holy hell. So, I get it. But that's going to be Dr. Umar's downfall, is messing with these strags. Strag is about to take up because his accounts are closed now. He can't get any money to pay his bills because he allowed a strag into his life to have access to the money that was allocated to opening up the school or making repairs to the school. Miss me with that. Let me see what's going on here in the chat. Everybody says hi everybody. How's everybody doing? All right, well, listen. I'm not gonna keep y'all long. I'm just gonna go ahead and head out. I got things to do in the morning, so I'm just gonna finish up my cigar and call it a night. But I'll be back on Saturday, or I might just pop up with another live stream, probably in the morning, or probably tomorrow afternoon, or probably do a podcast. I don't know. But I want everybody to enjoy the rest of the evening. And I'll talk to y'all guys later. This is Talking Crazy 88, and I am out of here. And black men, let's be careful out there, all right?